27th of April, and it'd be a poor thing if a man that dedicated so much of his life to trying to protect the environment in Ireland and internationally couldn't sit out in his garden on a spring summer evening amid the colour of the cherry blossom tree. And that's what I'm going to do. This is an important video because it's the first time ever that I asked you people to actually do something for me, to do me a favour, as it were. And you're going to probably say, oh, what's he looking for now? Now, again, it's video 15C. So the favour I'm asking for is not money. It's a little bit of your time. 100 minutes of your time, to be exact. That's an hour and 40 minutes, isn't it? Yeah. Pick some night around 9:30, 9:45. Bring in some friends, invite people around, have members of your family present, and children and anyone else of all ages, particularly teenage children who are getting all this stuff in the schools about climate change and the green agenda. And I consider the likes of me to be some kind of a crank. Now, if you have the internet and you're using YouTube, you can, if you have Wi-Fi, you probably have Wi-Fi if you have the internet. Now, if your television has DHDMI port, a DHDMI port, right, that's digital high definition multimedia port, you'll see it on the back of it. And if it's a digital TV and you have a laptop or a smartphone, right, you can get a device like this. It's called a Chromecast, and it goes in here with a USB port. I think you call it. Is it UBS or USB? USB port, right? Now, there's different types of them, and they're various prices. There's none of them more than £30, €30. You get them off Amazon. Now, if you look at it here on the television, there's that DHDMI, and that fits in here. It's a special connector. And you'll see it at the back of the television. There's another thing stuck in it, and then there's one underneath. It'll depend, but you need that. Look at it there again. And then this goes into the other port, and you then can connect your television with your laptop or your smartphone and view your video as if it was broadcast. So it's a great thing. And there'll be a tab then on your screen, on your YouTube thing, and there'll be stripes up here, and you just click into it and give the name of the room, like the family room or the front room or the kitchen or whatever, and that'll stay on it then. And all you have to do then is click into that, and it'll transfer the whole lot over onto the television, and your computer screen goes off, more or less stays stationary. Now, the video I'm talking about was made by a comedian in America who would be something similar to Billy Connolly was long ago, right? Michael Moore. He's Michael Moore. I'd say he's of Irish extraction. He would look that way. He's a stoutish kind of a man, about 53. He's a stand-up comedian, and he's always, of course, poking fun at anyone that's conservative, and even the likes of me, I suppose, in a way, he'd say I was a bit of a crank and to be laughed at. But I'm all about accountability in politics. That's what my politics is. But anyway, he's made this video, and it's 90% on the button. It's really good. Now you can make a note of that. Planet of the Humans by Michael Moore. That's what you want. Now, I have no doubt this is so hard-hitting that others will try to make dummy ones of them, wrong ones. You want to look at it. I think there's another producer called Gibbs, I think it is there. Make sure it's the right one. It'll be by Michael Moore. And the people who are being hurt by this, the blackguards is what they are, they'll try to get it taken down, and they'll try doing a lot of things. So get looking ahead before it does. Well, I mightn't either, because he's well known. But they'll definitely try to produce imitations of it to fool you. Think you're looking at the real one. You're not. You'll know it. You'll know the one. You'll see it starts with interviewing people about what they think about the environment and all that. So he's a left-wing commentator. I mean, he'd be left-wing. He'd be very much in favour of the Democratic Party winning and type of politics we have in Ireland. He wouldn't like the hard politics that you see in some places, including his president, Donald Trump. He's not a fan at all. He doesn't like him. Now, in the introduction, they interview a lot of people, and a lot of people I recommended this video to turned it off. They said, we're sick looking at this. People giving out silly opinions about the climate, about the sustainability of the earth, and about overpopulation and all that. And many people will say the earth's all right, it's able to handle the population it has. Some will say it's not. We're not getting into that. The main point is, do not judge the video on the first few minutes. That's the way it's done. You have to have a bit of introduction. That has to be there. And it has turned off people. Let it run. Wait till it gets into 14, 15 minutes and you'll have a different, as they say around my side, a different car on you. You'll have a different opinion and you'll begin to see that I wouldn't recommend this if I wasn't highly impressed. The documentary improves as it goes along. Right? It improves. It gets better. And it has a marvellous finish. Very moving. It would upset you now. I tell you one thing, I didn't sleep well after watching it. So it has a great finish. Some of the stuff about the population is only minor anyway. It doesn't really matter much. You're not going to get a video like that with everything I want in it. There's animal cruelty in it to make these green, get the fat for green fuels. Outrageous, one man described it. Try and avoid interruptions. Try and get a cup of coffee and don't have old phones ringing. Turn the damn things off. One's going to, in the middle of it's getting really good buzz, but, oh hello, how you doing? Try and stop that. Don't let there be interruptions. Don't answer the phone or plug out the phone. Look at the thing. The phone will be there when you don't need it. Unless, of course, you have maybe vulnerable people who depend on you for the phone. But otherwise, don't let the phone get in the way of watching this video, please. Or callers to the door or anything else. Keep them out of the way till you get this looked at. And look at it in comfort, and you'll enjoy it then, and it'll get through to you better. Lots of people miss out on a bit of something, and then they don't know what it was. So it's 100 minutes. That's 1 hour and 40 minutes, and that's a good while. That's as long as a short film, but it's well worth it. It's well worth it, and it proves that we and I have been right all along. We have been right all along, because what this shows is the connection between big business, billionaires, productions of fossil fuel. They're all milking this green nonsense and renewable energy just to make money, just to become super rich. And Moore finds none of these things save fossil fuel. And this is what I've been saying for years. In fact, they're highly reliant on fossil fuel. Thought they just change over from coal to gas, and then they put up something like a windmill or a solar farm, and they claim, oh, it's less polluting. It just exposes the sheer lies that are being told. And if we can be told lies about something like this, surely we can be told lies about anything. We shouldn't accept it. This will make you think of what you're hearing. Hopefully it'll get me a little bit of credibility too. Now, Mark Twain, you often heard of him, he's an American author and all of that sort of stuff. They haven't that many of them in the early part of the United States. But he said, it's easier to fool people. It's easier to fool people than it is to convince them they have been fooled. And I have locked horns on social media with these green enthusiasts. And some of them young and some of them not so young. Hippies, eco-warriors and all the rest. And the abuse I've taken from them for daring to challenge that their green utopia is in fact a dirty, rotten, environmental, destructive idea. They're ripping down the rainforest. They're ripping down some of the most pristine habitat. And I won't go any further than that, because at the end there is a very, very moving scene, a sickening scene of what these louts are doing. And that's why I'm asking you to view it. Only viewing it can really bring it home to you. I'll be looking at it again at some time. But once is enough. But if you want to look at it twice, go ahead. So get a friend to view it. I'm sending a few euros. Now there is on the website you can send a little money. He's charging nothing. You get it free. He against the whole of the political establishment. He made this. And it's not a high budget, but it's nicely done. And he'd done this. And now he has a thing up that can give him a few pounds. So I think our house will give him about €30. And if you want to give him €5 or €10 or whatever, he's well worth it. Fair play. Fair play. It doesn't cover everything. I'd like to have it showing the eagles getting killed with the windmills and all that, and the birds of prey. But we can't have it everywhere, and he has a time limit. So again, I would like to hear that you have looked at it. I'd like to hear your opinion. And I'd like you to agree that me getting up in a heap and getting excited about this video is a first. I've never really got excited over any medium before, and I therefore go to what am I going to do? And I think we must capitalise on it. We must get this into the heads of youngsters who are listening to their teachers talking green nonsense, and we must get people to look at it and decide for themselves. For the situation is even worse than what it says on this video. It's worse, and if we don't stop it, it'll soon be too late. And this video doesn't give us any hope. But folks, that's it. We're on 11 and a half minutes. That's a short video. That's what I'm asking you. I would really be appreciated if you can do it. It would really be great. And just look at it and try and get others to look at it. Maybe you get a few other people. Maybe you wouldn't. I don't know. But that's the name of it. The video on YouTube. Michael Moore, producer. Planet of the Humans. I highly recommend it. I highly recommend it. Please, as a favour to me, look at it. That's great, folks. This is real true educational, not fake news. That's the best I could do. And that's my nice little cherry blossom tree there. And then the garden, and all is good, and all can be better. We can't give in. We can't give in to this cheating, lying greed of dirty, rotten liars and their associates in the media, including radio, television, and the BBC, CNN, and all those. We got to start to look under the carpet. I wouldn't be doing this if I wasn't 100% convinced, as many hundreds of other people have. And it's illegal as well. They haven't completed the legally required strategic environmental assessment. They haven't complied with the Aarhus Convention on Public Participation. But that's another day. So that's it, folks. This is a little thing to allow you to look at it on the television, a Chromecast. There may be some other name on it. You're so good for looking in. I'm very, very thankful. And I'm going to now go and have a cup of tea out here in the garden and look back on how good this video was. So, great video by Michael Moore. Thumbs up for Michael Moore. And if you want to give me, for promoting it after you've watched it, a thumbs up or a thumbs down, very good. But hopefully it's another step, another nail in the coffin of this fraud, of this attack on our beautiful planet by louts, by greedy louts. It shows that it's funny enough, there's a fella called Blood who's at this crack, and he's teamed up with Al Gore. So you have Blood and Gore. You know, it just happens to be a pun, but it shows all of them up. It shows what they're doing. It shows Richard Branson, the whole lot, and the destroying our environment. Thank you very much. Real true educational, not fake news. And we're on 13 minutes. There it is. And bye now on the 27th of April in this very much rough and ready, though quite beautiful studio. Thank you very much.